Hi guys, this is the Roundup video for March 2020. As normal, I'm just going to go to the documentation website, read through some of the changes and then flick back to the product to show you some of the features. Before I do so, I just want to make it quite clear that the Garage Hive team are extremely committed to helping our users as best we can get through the current crisis that we're all facing. We've done our best to deliver some features so far, but we're really keen to hear as many ideas as you can to help in the assistance in us successfully getting through this as a group. So in the community forums, guys, please put any suggestions that you have and we'll do our best to work through them. Okay, so at the start of the month, we did release some features before the pandemic hit. So I'm just going to run through these features first and then go through some of the new specific features. So the first one is we improved the way the service schedules work from Autodata. So I'll just show you how this works. What you can now easily do is see these service schedule maintenance, whether it's mileage or based on period of time. So for example, if I want to see what's due every 48 months or 40,000 miles, if I tick the button here, then it adds it down here. What we've also done is added the instructions, so it doesn't just say brake fluid, it will say check or top up. And if I want to see when the timing belt's due, for example, I can tell because of the amount of hours involved, but if I tick this box here, I can see that a timing belt renewal is due every 100,000 miles. We added the ability to filter vehicle list by last visit date. I'll touch on this feature shortly because it's tied in with a couple of different features. We added the ability to print comments on estimates and vehicle inspection estimates. Again, I'm going to show you this feature because it's tied to a different one as well. We added the vendor email addresses to the vendor list. So a really simple change, but one that was requested. So from vendors now, you can choose columns and you can add email address here for those who are exporting this to Excel. We added the key numbers to purchase orders. So this is actually a small but quite significant change for those who are using the Pigeonhole system to manage your parts. So from within the purchase order screen, you can actually see key numbers on the list, and you can also see key numbers actually on the purchase order document as well. And this is because the key number normally corresponds with the pigeonhole. So when you're processing parts in, you don't need to go to the job sheet anymore. We added business insights. Now, for those who were using Garage Hive a while ago, you know we had the service chart on the homepage which showed you your revenue. We had to remove it for issues. Well, we've actually brought it back now under business insights. So from within this screen here, there's no revenue in this demonstration company, but you would be able to see your daily or weekly revenue and actually set targets as well from within this screen. We added the ability to create vehicle inspection text templates. So I'll show you this feature because it is really cool. So you imagine this is on a technician's tablet. What you can see now are these three dots here on the right hand side. It is all to do with setup, so it won't be by default, but we can set this up in your system. What it allows the technician to do, instead of having to manually type in what they found, you can create templates. So for example, if I go down to tires and wheels, the technician just selects from predefined text templates. So we can say this is 6mm, which is 31% worn. The reason this is so good is because it allows the technicians to not only do inspections much quicker, but the level of detail and the grammar used can be much better for the customer to actually understand and read. And you can be quite descriptive with the issues. So for example, it doesn't just need a brake fluid change, you can detail why it needs a brake fluid change. Or it doesn't just need timing belt, you can explain why it needs a timing belt. To do this, if you search for checklist text templates, you can see all these templates available here for the technician to select from. Okay, so we added more V80 details to sales invoice documents. So it's only a minor change, but we need to make you guys aware of it. So now you can actually see the detail on the VAT, so whether it was 0% or 20%. It's just going to split it out down here for you. Another great feature, this is one that was requested a while ago. The original job sheet value is now visible on the vehicle inspection estimates. So when you are, when a technician's created an inspection and you're estimating on the inspection, and you create a vehicle inspection estimate, which is separate from the job sheet, well, now you can actually see the job sheet value from within the screen as well. So when you're giving the customers the prices, not only do you know what the value is of the work you've identified, but you also know the value of the original job, so what they've originally booked in for. We all know it's a very bad scenario in which you give the customer this price, which is the identified work price, and the customer assumes that that includes their original booking price as well. So now this is available on vehicle inspection estimates for you. One thing to consider is this is a live price, which means that once you've added or authorized the work back to the job sheet, this price is going to increase here. So just be aware, this is a live price, not the original price. Okay, so moving on to some of the requested features to help our customers deal specifically with this COVID-19 crisis that we're all going through. So the first two, these two are related together, the MailChimp export and the bulk SMS. I'm going to show you these features now. So from within the vehicle list, and it's all done from the vehicle list, under actions you have export MailChimp CSV and send bulk SMS. So what I said to you earlier on is I'm going to demonstrate the vehicle history feature to you, so you can filter vehicles by when they were last seen, because this ties in nicely with the exporting and the sending of bulk SMSs. So this first feature that I'm going to show you, there's a column now called History Exists. So what you need to do, you need to enable this column, choose columns, History Exists. And then you can filter to this column. So if I right click filter, and I only want to see the vehicles where history exists. So I'm only going to contact the customers where I know they've actually seen us before. What I can now do is select Actions, Export MailChimp CSV. And it's identified there's 5 vehicles and 5 customers. Of course, there could be more vehicles than customers, but in this case, it's 1-to-1. It then produces a CSV file, which will work by default straight into MailChimp. Another feature we added was the ability to send a bulk SMS. So the way this works, again, you can filter this list however you please. So you can filter types of customers, service due dates, GDPR preferences, postcodes if you want to, when the account was first created, types of vehicles, makes, models, fuel types. You can be as detailed as all of this information here when creating these lists to send bulk SMS or to export to an external mail client. So let's say I've decided that I want to send these vehicles a text message. So if I go Actions, Send Bulk SMS, and I want to send it to vehicles, I can either send it to the customers or to the vehicles, because as I said previously, if there's more vehicles to customers, then that customer will just get multiple text messages relating to that individual vehicle. In this demonstration, we'll select vehicle. You can add field tags, so you can add all of this information in to the message to create a customized message for the customer, or you can apply templates. So in this one, I've just created an example. So hi, customer name, this is a sample SMS template. We want to let you know that we are planning to reopen the 1st of May. Please book online at so-and-so. If I press next, what I have to do is select a vehicle and a customer to preview. So it allows you to preview the bulk SMS message before you send it. What it will also do is estimate the lengths of the messages and how many text messages it's going to cost. So again, you must select a preview, and it's really just to make you aware of how big a message you're writing, and it warns you that 160 characters counts as a single text. So because I've sent 161 characters, it's actually counting as 2. And then if I press send, it's just going to go ahead and send the bulk SMS. So a really, really handy feature for keeping in communication with your customers, both via email and via SMS directly from Garage Hive, with all the abilities to filter certain groups of vehicles and customers in whichever way that you can. So the last thing I wanted to show you was the ability to filter vehicles by dates of when we last saw the vehicle. So I filtered to history exists. Well, if I want to, if I click on here, it's going to give me a date. So I can say, I'll just take this date as an example. Where it says filter totals by, if I select add filter, date filter, and put a date in, it's just going to show me the vehicles that I saw on that date. Or I could do ... up to that date, or indeed I could do that date ... which means after that date. So it allows you to filter date ranges for particular vehicles. So you could select all Fords that you've seen within the last 12 months that service is coming up within the next 6 months if you want to do so. You can get quite creative with this communication feature. Okay, we modified the online booking system. So a lot of companies are in the position now, a lot of garages are in the position now where they're actually closed and we're not sure when we're going to reopen. So a lot of garages now have an online booking system, and all it was simply displaying to the customers was the inability to book online. So there was no option for the customer to actually book online. So what we've added is a feature that you can turn on within your system if you've got the online booking, and it will do the following. So this is Lindley's is one of the customers. So if I select the branch, it's giving me a warning. COVID-19 social distancing measures. We are currently unable to offer a set date for bookings. However, feel free to make the booking you require, and as soon as it's safe to reopen and take bookings, we will contact you to set a date. So as the customer walks through the online booking system, as they normally would, they don't get to select a date, they just fill their form in, and then the booking is created. So within Garage Hive, what would happen is your online booking tile, which would sit here, would populate with a job sheet and all the customer details and the customer comments that they've written. And then when you are ready to reopen, you're going to have a list of customers that want work doing but haven't selected when. And it's going to allow you to get your garage work booked up before you reopen, so you can hit the ground running when you decide that you want to reopen. It also applies for garages who are working in a very limited capacity, so the ones that are partially open. This feature allows you to offer online booking without it directly going into the diary, and you can decide when and where by communicating with the customer. And the last feature we added, again, this is really to do with the marketing, and we hope that when we get out the other side of this crisis that we're going through, that we offer our customers all the tools they need to be successful. And one of the most requested features was finance plans, because it stands to reason that customers are going to be very price conscious or not wanting to spend all of their money, and we wanted to offer the ability for customers to display finance plans or payment plans to our customers, to their customers as easy as they could. So you'll see now that this is available in estimates, vehicle inspection estimates, and job sheets. And what you do under payments and posting, there's a button called Add Finance Plan. It's pre-set up to Payment Assist, but what is quite clever is you can use this for any type of finance plan. All you need is a code and a description, the deposit percentage, and the number of additional payments. You can then add a header text and a footer text as well. And I'll just show you how this works. If I say that this customer wants to start the finance plan on the 30th of March, it's taken the total of the job sheet and applied it here, but you can manually override this if you want to. And what that does, it actually adds a comment. So the comment will split the payments into the 4 payments. So there's the deposit and there's the 3 additional payments, because that's what the setup said. And the total amount to finance, and you can see it's added the header and it's added the footer. So if we look at this when we print out, what you can see is the finance plan is visible to the customer. And again, this is also available on vehicle inspection estimates and estimates. And I'll just show you there is a slight change in the way it operates on vehicle inspection estimates. So on a vehicle inspection estimate or an estimate, you might not want to give them a payment plan for all of the lines that you identify, because some of it could just be advisories or some of it could be urgent. So for it to calculate on a vehicle inspection estimate, I'll just delete this and show you. You must click this button here, include in price calculation. So we have this is like a live price calculator, so you can group certain labels and items together and give your customers prices. Well, for the payment plan to work, you must have one of these ticked. So if I tick these three, you can see it's £518.40, but the total VI was £653. So if now under payments, if I had a payment plan, it's only taken the £518.40. And you can see it's added the comment in here. So if I print this off, you can see the payment plan is up here. And I believe that brings the roundup to the end. We have some more features related specifically to COVID-19, which are in the pipeline currently. But again, as I said at the start of the video, we are completely committed to getting our customers through this as best as we possibly can. And for us, the way we can help you guys is by making the software ready for when you guys return to work. So we really look forward to your feedback. If you have any questions, as usual, guys, please get it in the community on this video. Thank you.